90.5 FMKSJS San Jose. You just heard Violence doing their song called TDS. Take it as you will. Yeah, that's off the Eternal Nightmare CD. Before that, we heard Soil Work doing their Million Flame song off the Chain Heart Machine. Opened it all up with Hypocrisy doing, of course, black metal. Yeah. You can find that version on the Osculum Obscenum CD. Feel like I got a lot of spittle. All right, got to tell you what we do on the show. What? I don't know. There's no homeless report this morning. I did see one guy hanging around in 7-Eleven, but he actually looked pretty clean and he wasn't pawing everything. I always get concerned when they're messing around with the apples and stuff. You know, you're like, hey, man, you know, the apples, you can screw around with the bananas all you want. I don't figure they're poking any needles in them. I mean, why would they waste their good drugs on somebody else? But I mean, the damn apples, man. You're going to get that thing filthy. You expect me to eat that after you've been testing it? But it looks okay. This is slippery. But I'll tell all the homeless people out there, hey, if you want to get into Denny's and get out really quick, I stopped by there this morning. I'm telling you, I was in there. I arrived in the parking lot at 4:27, parked away from the police cars over there. Wanted to stay away from them as much as possible. Sat down, ordered my food, went out, lit up a cigarette, and boom, I look back in, my food's there already. So I run in there and mow down what is it? Huevos con jamón y queso. Yeah, that's Spanish for eggs with ham and queso. I'm really trying to work on my Spanish, getting it up there in case I wake up in Spain one day again. You know what the heck? You look around and, geez, last time I was there, at least I had somebody that spoke Spanish. Look at me. I'm just, what? Knocking people around, shaking them down, you know? They're little people. But, so there, I went in there and mowed down my food. I was out by, like, it was, I don't know, 19 minutes. I was in my car taking off down the freeway, you know? So if you're homeless and you want to go eat when nobody's paying attention and get the hell out of there, go around to the back by the dumpster over there. They got plenty of food. I only ate about 3/4 of my omelet, and there was some grits left, or whatever you call them. I had to get the hell out of there. I'm in a hurry. I got things to do, you know? So, hey, listen to this. Yeah, all right. Anyway, that was Tartaros doing their wonderful song, man. That's the Ruby Mine off the Red Jewel CD. Something's happening here. Nothing's happening here. Anyway, there. Listen to this right now. Before that, yeah, there.
Hi, Becky. I just got my pictures back from my trip to Acapulco. Want to see them?
Oh, how pretty.
Yeah, the Divorced Fathers Network, a peer support group focused on engaged, effective, and shared parenting, meets every Monday from 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. at 80 South 5th Street in downtown San Jose. The Divorced Fathers Network is a positive way to talk with other single fathers in the area and meet new people. Another community message from your friendly college station, 90.5 FMKSJS. Yeah, meet new people. Hey! I'm sure, you know, they need a lot of friends. They feel so guilty about not spending any time with their own kids. They can get together with other guys and talk about how they don't spend any time with them. I'm going to tell you what, if they really wanted to do something for the community, they could have been driving down Santa Teresa about a week ago at between 2:30 and 5 and picked me up in the damn alongside the road. Because after the show last week, if you remember, I haven't been getting any sleep. I had to go and take a midterm and all this stuff. And came to the meeting at night here. After the meeting, guys, hey, let's go see the show. I said, oh, geez, not that damn Julia Roberts movie. I refused to see a Julia Roberts movie. They said, no, no, and they said the name of a band that was playing. I said, no, I'm not even going to do that. Because, well, you know, any jackass band who names their band in a really jackass manner, I'm sorry, these people name their band after some old man that won't have sex with his wife. You expect me to really appreciate your music? You're really going to ram it down, you know? I ended up, what the hell? I was really tired, and when I get tired, I get a little bit crazy, and finally I say, all right, I'll go. I went down, and it was a good time, I guess. I mean, I had a good time, but it was just because I had a good time, don't get me wrong. So, afterwards, I figure, you know, the light rail runs all night. They're always advertising that, woo, woo, VTA, all night long. Get anywhere you gotta go. I said, all right. So I climbed on that train about there's too much. I just gotta go through it. All right. So I'm sitting at the light rail station over there at 2nd, and I'm waiting. And I'm pretty alert for somebody that's been up for about 30 hours, 31 hours at that point. And there's this girl sitting there, and she's all drunked up, talking about how she drank a 5 1/2 at that show. And she's pretty drunk, I guess. Some ugly 19-year-old girl. So I just hung back and gave her a cigarette. She wanted a cigarette, so I said, here, have a cigarette. And then, like, 4 people came up. I know, hey, man, you got a cigarette? Got a cigarette? And I always give cigarettes to people. I'm like, here you go. You know, I figure at the very least I'm putting them a little bit that much closer to death, you know? It's kind of a blessing in disguise. So I'm giving away my cigarettes, and they're walking away, hey, you want any of this vodka? They had a half gallon of vodka there, and this girl's, I do. So they brought the vodka back to her, and she gets a hold of that bottle and slams down a good hard swig, then, you know, recuperates for a second shot, and she takes about 3 or 4, and so they take off. Ooh, all right, I guess she was impressing them, you know. I can really knock this vodka down, and she was really screwed up already. So they walk away, and she's sitting there, and a couple more people show up. Some guy bums a cigarette, and just about then she gets up, walks over the street corner, you know, side of the street, I mean, and just vomits. I just ignore her because, you know, I realize some people are bulimic alcoholics. So, kind of ignoring it. She's coming back, sitting down, and this other guy just walks up. Says, oh, my God! Did you just vomit? And she's like, well, yeah. And he says, that's disgusting. And he was making fun of her and just chewing her out, and I thought that was pretty funny. He was just screwing with her, you know, but she was really out of it. So, yeah, there it is. And we get on the train, ride all the way down there to Santa Teresa Station. Closer and closer you get to the end. And I was making jokes with these guys earlier. I'm like, yeah, you know, they take the train all the way to the stops, and they kick you off, and you make your own way. Well, that's what happened. I get there are all these bums on the train. I didn't really notice. I didn't notice why, you know. So I get off the train down there, and there's this guy. He's a security guard, and I said, hey, man. I said, when's the next bus coming? It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. He says, oh, that'll be here at 5:30. I'm like, what? He said, oh, yes, they do not run anymore. I'm sitting there, and at this point, I've been up for about a 31 and a half, 32-hour stretch. And you know how they always say, I heard my bed calling me. Bunch of jackasses. I don't think they know what that means, but I really did. I was like, all I want to do is sleep, man. I just want to crawl into my bed and go to sleep. And so I said, well, can I call a cab? Well, what about walking? This guy's like, oh, it's 15 miles. And I said, oh, I'll call a cab. Oh, that'll be $30. I said, hey, whatever. Just get me home, man. And so I walked a mile to go get a cab. But the fact is, and I didn't get a cab after all. he said, just climb back on the train and it will drive back and forth till 5:30. That's how you stay warm. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with a bunch of bums riding around on the train all night. You can't get comfortable on that train. They make it impossible. I think the VTA really knows what they're doing when they make those seats. Get everybody on and off as quickly as possible. No comfort factor here. Support your local VTA. But, yeah. I walked down to a damn Circle K to call cab. But I'll tell you about that later because it goes on and on. Here, listen to this. That was Hecate enthroned doing their song called, well, that was The Spell of the Winter Forest. Yes, that's right. That's off The Slaughter of Innocents, a Requiem for the Mighty. That's right. Back to my old theory, man. The meek shall inherit the earth. Yay! You know why? Because when they do, we're going to come in and strong-arm into doing whatever we want them to, you know? It's up to us to keep the earth running right once the meek aren't sure. Well, I'm not sure what we should do here. Shut up! Sit down and give me the controls. Yeah. That was them. Before that, we heard Unleashed doing their song called Land of Ice. That's off the Shadows in the Deep CD. In case you've been looking for that. Yeah. All right, here, listen to this.
Hi, this is Linda Blair.
Hi.
You remember me from The Exorcist. Inviting you...
And I forgot to tell you, as I'm sitting there talking to that girl that was making a mess of herself all over downtown, she's talking about how she only has to get off at Capitol off this light rail and walk for a mile. All I gotta do is walk a mile. And I told her, you better be careful. Because last time I thought I only had to walk a mile or two in the middle of the night when I was all drunked up. Well, maybe not the last time. But one time when I was down in Huntington Beach, I figured it's only a mile or two. We're at this club, dancing with this old woman. But, yeah, we were staying at a hostel, my friend and I. We'd just gotten back from Europe. We were traveling around there. So screw it, flew to Huntington Beach. So, because the eclipse was coming, you know, best place to be is the Baja Peninsula. So we got close. But, so I'm dancing with this lovely older woman, and she was pretty friendly. My friends are like getting ready to go, and I'm like, oh, go. I'm waving them away because, you know, now's where you set the snares. So in a minute, when you turn around and the lights come on, she's like, all right, see, where are my friends, you know? Usually that works, but it didn't. She was staying right across the road. So now I'm walking, and I figure it was a mile or two, straight down the Pacific Coast Highway, you know? So I just start walking, got my new shoes on. Next thing I know, I'm waking up from a blackout. You know how when you wake up, and you're just laying there and you're aware of the things around you, you know, your surroundings, yet you haven't opened your eyes yet, it's dark. Well, that happened to me, and in that darkness, when I'm trying to figure out, wow, man, where am I realized I'm moving. Like, what the hell? I mean, you look around and you're walking down the street, and you walk into some neighborhood, wandering around there, security guard tells you which way to go, and you keep going, you know, black out again, come back to you, get back at 4:30, and people are on the porch. Where have you been? I just walked home. You walked 9.5 miles. All right, cool, whatever. So, you know, I'm telling her, be careful, man. You don't want to walk the wrong direction, end up walking 9.5 miles. And so I get down to Santa Teresa light rail, nothing there. I walk down to that Circle K, try and call a cab, you know. All I want is to get home to my bed. No cab will take me as far as Morgan Hill. They're like, that's too far. I'm sitting there going, what the hell? So I said, screw it. I'm going for a walk. I've done it before, you know. And I had about a 50-pound pack on. I had my backpack, and I had another duffel bag that I was carrying in my hand. And I had to rig that up so it would hang around my neck so I wasn't having to carry it to one side all the time, you know, walking down the middle of the street in the middle of the night, you don't need stuff banging against your leg, crippling you. So I got that hanging off me, about 50 pounds, and as I'm starting to walk, I realized, I haven't done a 10-mile walk in a very long time. I'm thinking maybe 15, I don't know. I'm taking the long cut. I could have gone down Monterey and made it quicker, but nah, I figured I'd go through the, calm pleasantness of Santa Teresa. So I just figured, it's been a while. All that time before, I wasn't smoking a pack of non-filtered American spirits a day. And I figured this was the time to find out whether I was old or not, Got to figure it out at some point. So I just started walking. As you're walking out there, you know how you get into the fog? Always, you look into the fog, you're like, wow, I'm going to go stand in it. And you run over the fog, and it's not around you, it's over there. It's like, wow, what's going on? I suppose, this is what I figure, it must be that, all that condensation, as it gets further away, it kind of muddles things, but as it's that close, you can still see through it fine because it's not so dense, not fogging up your stuff. So I'm standing in the fog, walking down the middle of the road, thinking about cougars, I figure there's probably a cougar in these mountains. So I got my camera out in case one attacks me. I can take a picture of it. That serves a couple purposes. One, it'll may shock them and just make them run away. There's a big flash. What the heck, man? And if they don't run away, they're blinded a little bit, so you can tackle them and wrestle them to the ground. Hope there's only one of them. Try and break its neck as quick as possible because, they've got those claws. They're scratching around and stuff, wrestling around on the ground with a cougar. The cop pulls up, he's going to shoot both of you. He was probably rabid. But, so I got that. And then if that doesn't work either, at least you got a good picture of what killed you when they show up and find your body and your camera and everything. Then they get to look at the rest of your pictures on the roll. But, so I'm walking through the dark in the fog there. I got to see the moon set behind me, and it's just pitch black out there, fog. A car coming up behind you, and I noticed I'm standing right in the fog. When it's coming that way, the lights all up. I was right fog all around me, and right in front of me there's this big ring, like a portal. I didn't really believe I was going to be able to walk through it, but who knows what happens when you're that tired. It didn't happen. So I'm walking along. I hit that place where the driving range is over there. There's a bus stop right across the road from it. So I just sat down and for about exactly 5 minutes, took my pack off, smoked a cigarette. 5 minutes went up, I put my pack back on. You don't want to sit too long, you'll bind up, So I put my pack on, walked along, finished my smoke, and made my way. I'm going to tell you, everybody's talking about these, what do you call them? Roosters. Wow, they're so smart. When it's daylight, they start crowing. They can tell time. Old farmers believe that crap. I don't know how, because those things are going all night long. As soon as they sense you're coming about a mile out, you hear them, they're doing that. Going crazy. You got some farmers out there yelling, shut up! Everybody's yelling. It's pretty funny because it disturbs everything. Then the dogs start barking, and you got dogs, and you got chickens, and everybody's crazy. People driving down the road to their pens to see what's going on, and they see me like some bum walking down the middle of the road, and you just keep going. And then I almost got hit by a bus walking along, and you're sitting there looking at the lines, trying to pay attention to the lines on the road. And it's so dark, you can't see anything. Next thing I see this bus coming. That was in the latter half of the trip. Buses were running again. And I realized it was coming right at me. So I just kind of moved out of the way and it went by. I was right in the middle of his lane. I'm going to get myself killed. Then you realize you're not moving so fast because it's so dark you can't see. But I made it. At that point, my goal was just to get back before my roommate left for work. So I said, hey, and I wanted to beat the light, too. Damn light. You don't want to be walking around in the daylight. People think you're a bum. If they see you walking around in the middle of the night, they think you're like Joel Paul Hanna, got a shotgun in your bag, and you're going to kill a bunch of people. They just leave you alone. I kept waiting for somebody to call the cops, but apparently at night, nobody does this Big Brother thing. They just let you go. I figured if the cops showed up, I'd say, hey, yeah, give me a ride. They'd pretty much have to give me a ride, but none of them showed up. Never a cop when you need one. Right now, the light, geez, it's getting such long days, lights out all the time, you can't go to sleep. Well, who knows? I just get bothered by the light. I like to be in here all morning with the pitch black, you know. Look outside, you can't see people. Now they just bother you. So, anyway, I made it there. I made a 10-mile journey last week. And like the next day, I was tired. I've been up for 36 hours. But I started the trip 33 and a half hours into no sleep. You know, I'm just like, wow. Wandering out there trying to get visions and stuff. And, what the heck? About it. Here, listen to this.
Crystal meth is a dangerous, highly addictive drug.
San Jose. Hey, yeah, stay off the crank. Listen to this. 90.5 FM KSJS, San Jose. All right, that was Rain doing their song called Ad Extrem off the Embrace CD. Yeah. Before that, we heard Lobotomy doing their song called Ashes off the Born in Hell CD. You know what the hell? Can't be bad. Everybody's talking about how much pain we go through when we're born into this cold world, you know? Bright lights shining on us, people in masks and stuff. You come out to that, you're like, what the heck? You're scarred for life. And then they're beating the hell out of you. I mean, heck, I just played dead when I was born. Act natural, you know? Let them beat you all you want. Don't cry. Apparently I didn't cry, but I'm such a good-natured child, you know? So, Born in Hell can't be that bad. We heard Cradle Filth doing Death Comes Ripping off the Pandemonian EP. And Malevolent Creation was in there by request. Alliance or War is the name of the CD. The name of the song off the Eternal CD. Hey, listen to this.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kirk.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Hey, you want to know what else is exciting? The United States of America has deemed it to be okay that I own a military rifle. Yes, that's right. Went with my roommate yesterday and picked up a couple Romanian SKSs. Yeah, they're a semi-automatic weapon. Easily, you know, switched over to automatic for when the time comes. You never know when the zombies are going to make it on their way up the stairs. So the best feature is it's got a folding out bayonet right on the front. Yeah, it's just hooked right up to it. You don't have to reach around on your belt. Where's my damn bayonet? Head-butting people, you know, butt smashing zombies coming up the stairwell. You just flip. There it is. You stab it and pushing them off, shooting them, stabbing them. I mean, you know, all you got to do is go up to traders and they'll sell you one too. It's the greatest part of being an American. Get on the ball game, you know. You got to watch yourself. Nobody else is gonna. All right, that was Nail Bomb doing their song called Gorillas off the Proud to Commit Commercial Suicide CD. Before that we heard, well, Blood Has Been Shed. Yeah. They did their song called, well, what did they do their song called? Oh, I don't know. Immortal. I suppose that was Immortal. There. Lives on forever in my mind. I'm telling you what. Won't be able to get that one out of my head before tomorrow. No. We heard some Iron Maiden in there. Jason called up, was telling us how Immortal's playing tomorrow night at the Cocodrie, the Club Cocodrie up in the city. First U.S. show, he says. I may have to call in sick to work. Hey, I Any of you people at work are listening right now. I'm not going to be there tomorrow. Tell Bill. Okay. Angel Corpse and Satyricon are on the 13th. So if we haven't already, we're going to play some Satyricon. I think we have already. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. So listen to this. Yeah, so I'm sitting out there by that jazz land. I went there a minute ago, and there's this woman out there who's always, every week, she's got to be telling everybody, I don't drink coffee. I never do any caffeine. And she's always very excited. I'm just a morning person. Yeah, well, shut up. I mean, it seems that nobody cares. But, she's sitting there telling some guy, oh, no, I never hit my kids. Oh, no, never hit your kids. And she looks at this guy standing over there and says, you never beat your kids, do you? And I yell out, hey, it's a little bit of a personal question there, don't you think? I mean, we're starting to get into everybody's lives. What's this guy supposed to say? Oh, yeah, I beat the hell out of them one side of the aisle to the other. You know, that's the last time they forget to take out the trash. I'll beat the hell out of them with trash. Can't I'll teach them. You know, I mean, that's reinforcement with punishment. They say, even Skinner says, you know, where's Frederick Skinner, monumental psychologist, that punishment does work, but not in extreme cases. You know, it works a little bit. You got to get it just right. You got to be consistent. Every time they forget to take out the trash, you got to take and beat the hell out of them with a trash can or something. Whatever it is you're doing to keep them in line, you got to do it the same, and you can't just let it go sometimes. And so, the thing is, if you get too much, it just makes them, they get that damn, yeah, can't remember the name of it. They just sit there and shake, you know?
Avoidance behavior.
So, you can beat your kids, but not too much. You can't tell anybody you heard that here either. Tell them you read it in a psychology book, and it works just as well, because it's just, what am I, a medium? A medium for medium. Let's see what else. Well, we're just going to go ahead and play some music now, because why not? I've turned over a new leaf. The sun's coming out. Satyricon. Yeah, so there it is, man. That was Satyricon doing their song called Filth Grinder off the Rebel Extravaganza. Listen to this.
More than 50 children in Marin County.
Yeah. And I forgot to tell you, a while back we played a song called Jesus Diseases. That's off the effed up, yeah, it's the effed up clump of multi-genitalia by Sangre Amado. Sangre Amado. Yeah, it's got to have something to do with blood. That's all I can figure. But, and I figured I'd play that to go with this wonderful song. Well, PSA right here. Here you go. Can 25 cents save your life? It could. Average cost of a condom is 25 cents. Condoms can help to prevent such deadly diseases, HIV, AIDS infection, and leprosy. They can also prevent the spread of other sexually transmitted diseases such as genital herpes, chlamydia, and gonorrhea, and the black siph. These diseases, although they aren't deadly, can cause a great deal of discomfort. Permanent scarring and loss of sexual function can also occur. So take the time to protect yourself, because your life is worth more than 25 cents. And heck, if you're already spending $30 on a hooker, you might as well throw in an extra quarter to pay attention to yourself, right? I mean, what the heck? There it is. And also, yeah, like Wednesday or Thursday night, going back to that walking back from Santa Teresa Station at 10 miles from my home. I went through there and I drove that way just to make sure how far of a drive it was. And, you know, you're out there and the moon's up. It was a lot brighter a couple nights later. So I'm just driving along, stop, smoke a cigarette, sit out there in the middle of the country, you know, no cars coming by. It's pretty desolate out there, you know. It's all right. So I get back in my car and do the good old Morgan Road drive down to Morgan Hill. We got a road called Morgan Road back home that I live on. It's a straight shot, a lot of hills, built for speed, meant for death. That's what my Uncle Ray said, something like that. Many teenagers lost his life there trying to challenge in that straight road. Bob Jerusalem threw his car and spun it over upside down sideways once drunk. And that was, what I aspired to do as I grew up. I was a little kid going, wow, that was a real nice car. But, yeah, so I just shut my lights off and cruised down Santa Teresa. You go a few miles, you're doing 70 miles an hour. It's a 45, so you're taking turns. And you just really have to focus on the road right in front of you. You don't have a lot of time to be looking at all kinds of other stuff around everywhere else because, it's enough of a rush just seeing that black night just flying past you. You're trying to keep an eye on the road, but it doesn't always work. So, where's these boots were made for walking? Cars were meant for driving without headlights. That's not an encouragement, that's just a little bit of advice. Here, listen to this. Going to walk over. 90.5 FM, KSJS, San Jose. Yeah, you know where you're at. At war.
Gentlemen, from the very depths of hell.
You know what? Here we go. At war with Satan. Yes, that's right. That's Venom. That's the 8 o'clock song of the day. Yeah. Last week I decided, what the hell, I'm not going to do this anymore. But you know what? It completely screwed me up for the rest of the show. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I'm doing it again. What the heck? Everybody said, well, I won't play it. All right, there it is. At war with Satan. And it's the only song we heard right in there, so I suppose we should listen to this. It's a promo about Macy's, in case you're in a big hurry to get out there and buy some Macy's product. Here you go. Don't worry about it.
Get ready for the launch.
So there it is, Thursdays in the Mix. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. So I'm standing there, and this woman's looking at me like I'm nuts for telling that guy that it's his personal business. What a question. You don't hate your kids, do you? Don't ask her that. And she's looking at me like I beat my kids or something. I said, hey, look. I said, don't worry about it. I don't beat my kids or anything. I said, I beat other people's kids. There's a business for you. I mean, everybody wants to hit their kid every once in a while. If you beat somebody else's kid and the cops show up, you say, that damn kid, he's out here messing around in the yard. And they say, oh, yeah, kid's got to be disciplined. And they go along and let you be. I don't have any kids running around, and it's fortunate. So I've been thinking about getting a dog, Figure, everybody's always beating their animals, right? Is it? No? That's not true? Well, I don't know. I remember when I was up at Mackinac Island as a kid, playing that ridiculous rat and hammer game. You know that one with that damn plastic rat that comes up, and pops up, and you got this big fluffy hammer, and you got to hit the thing. I'm a little kid trying to play that. I've always seen it. People look like they're having a lot of fun. And I said, well, all right, I'll spend a quarter on it. So I go play this game. It's pretty boring, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not the same effect as killing something. It's more like you're doing target practice, plastic rats. Next time we're all at the bar, I suggest everybody gets a beer and dumps it down the toilet, straight to the sewers, so the rats can get drunk too. That way we can all be screwed up by closing time. We can stagger out to the streets and parking lots, same as the rats. And when we see the rats stumbling around all drunked up, we can crush their heads between the pavement and our heels. Like that game brought to an adult reality. I mean, as children, we play at what we're meant to be. As adults, and I'd hate to think that all that training was a waste. All right. That was Creator. That's off the Flag of Hate CD. It's called Awakening the Gods. Awakening of the Gods. Some guy called in. I guess he wanted to hear some Creator. I don't know who he is or where he is, but there it is. Happy birthday. So, if it's your birthday today and you didn't request that song, quit complaining. Wasn't bad. I like Creator. Everybody likes Creator. You should be happy with that. Get to class. What else do we hear in there? That's a commonly asked question. Hell, I don't know. So there it is. And listen to this.
Hi, this is Cruiser Michelangelo with a Morning Funk Show. This week on the...
Yeah. So anyway, what do we got? We've got some Oppressed Logic coming up. That's about it. There's some good advice. Don't go kicking grenades around if they don't have a pin in them. Now listen to this.
You ever hear the neutron bomb?
Black Sabbath doing their song National Acrobat off the Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath CD. Hey, you know, if you were listening closely, you've got the secret to immortal life, you know. And the thing is, that's what I figured out from it. But even if it's not, what the hell? At least you go to your grave with a warm, cozy feeling on, I'll be back. You know, something like that, rather than, oh, God, I'm going to burn in hell. I mean, who wants to die with fear all over them? It's bad enough you're entering the unknown. Now you've got to be afraid of getting punished the rest of eternity. I mean, hell. Only be about 107 years that I've been on this planet when it's all over, and it's not very long in the scope of the 4.5 billion years this planet's been here already, let alone the rest of everything else. You're going to get poked and jabbed the rest of my life. You know, why do they even tell us about hell? The heck, man. Who cares? I mean, if you're going to go to hell, you're going to go to hell, right? That's what the Muslims believe. They figure God, Allah's got it all figured out ahead of time. And you just go through and pray 5 times a day and eat dirt the rest of your days and hope that you're on his list. You go through the motions. What happens if you're on his list and you don't go through the motions? You're just going around screwing on. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's just going to be a bonus for you, you know? What the hell? So there's that. But, yeah. At least you can rot in peace if you believe you're going to live forever when you get kicked down to the dirt. Be surprised.
Every year, more than 5,000 Americans are killed in residential fires.
How many kitten and puppies do you think are born in the United States every day? 10,000? 20,000? Nope. Try 70,000. That's right. In the United States alone, 70,000 puppies and kittens are born every day. When you compare that to only 10,000 human births, it's clear that there will never be enough homes for all these pets. Please help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Well, you know, the thing is, as humans, we're inherently evil, right? Going out and killing and stomping things in our past. Oh, no, a spider. What's that spider going to eat that you're going to want later anyway? Squash the son of a bitch. I mean, you know, so the thing is, all these people getting pets and everything, all these little kids smothering animals and, you know, trying to hide them under the table so nobody notices. I mean, hell, at my house, you couldn't tell the difference between the smell of a rotting corpse and my mom's chili anyway. She wasn't a very good cook. But, these kids are going to kill plenty of these animals. 70,000, that's nothing. 10,000 human births? Geez, that's a start. But, why don't we spay and neuter each other? And before Black Sabbath, we heard something else. And we're going to hear some more music right now. This is Crowbar. We got new Crowbar. And by the way, TC, get the chopper. You're going to have to get me out of here because we don't have that Angel Corpse in here anymore. It's been taken out of rotation, so we're going to have to wait till it gets in the library. Hey, sorry about that, man. I mean, you can't blame me. I don't do anything around here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to get that excited about it. I can't really get into it for you that way. I'm sorry. That'd be a joke. That's Usurper. This is 90.5 FM KSJS San Jose. And here's Hallowed Be Thy Name. TC, get the chopper. Yeah, I Hate God. That's the name of the band. The song is called, it's called Serving Time in the Middle of Nowhere. Yeah. Reminds me of a time during Alpenfest a few years ago, our little town festival. Oh, we're the sister city of what is that city? Someplace in Sweden. Not Sweden, Switzerland. Who cares? Stupid. They brought a rock over from Switzerland and put it in the damn courtyard and said, oh, isn't that nice? We're the sister city. So they have this big Alpenfest every year. Bunch of Polacks running around dressed up like the Swiss. I think that's the only way they can keep everybody from fighting. So, this one year, this guy escapes. He climbs over the fence downtown Gaylord, in the middle of the Alpen Festival. He's in jail, serving time in the middle of nowhere. And he climbs over the fence and escapes. I get home all drunked up. My mom's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, what? They got some description of a guy that sounds just like you. Every time somebody escapes from jail back home, they somehow look just like me. And it's like, geez, I was only there for a few hours. I didn't think anybody would notice me being missing. That's what they teach you in E&E, escape and evasion in the Army, They teach you to get the hell out of there, right away. As soon as you get captured, as soon as they take you to jail, if you see your chance, jump out of the police car or the corner or something, because they don't recognize you so much. They don't notice you missing. So, that's it. Serving time in the middle of nowhere. Off the Southern Discomfort CD. And, let me see. Before that, we heard Cradle of Filth doing Hallowed Be Thy Name for TC. Finally got a song to him. And, Omar wanted to hear some Sepultura, so we'll be getting to that in a minute. If you want to complain or anything, my email is judas@ksjs.org. And you can go to that same website and look and see me on the webcam. I guess that's supposed to be exciting for some reason. Oh, my God, there he is. Oh. Jeez, man. I saw some guy outside earlier when I was smoking my cigarette, kind of wandering around, kind of looking, hemming and hawing. And he had a bucket, and he had one of those pincher things on a post that you pick stuff up off the ground with. And he finally made his way over to the ashtray there and started picking cigarette butts. And I thought he was picking and choosing, but he took them all and just threw them away. And I thought, wow, that's that guy's job. So if you're a homeless guy and you really want to get cigarette butts without anybody paying too much attention to you, just go roll one of these guys walking around with the pincher clippers things, knock them down and take the things. I was thinking, wow. I think I might have to take that shirt, too. Not because it says San Jose State University or anything on it. Keeping it clean, Just because, if you're homeless, you might want that shirt. So, there's that. I'll tell you, man. I just can't get over it. I own a firearm. Rifle. Not only that, I bought 500 rounds for it. I'm going to be holed up for months in there, just killing zombies, dragging them up the stairs, You got to eat something. Yeah. So one of the questions on there was, have you ever, look at all these questions. Has purchaser ever been convicted of a felony? No. Is purchaser a mental patient or on leave of absence from a mental hospital? No. Has purchaser ever been adjudicated by a court to be a danger to others, found not guilty by reason of insanity, found incompetent to stand trial, or placed under a conservatorship, pursuant to welfare? No. Is purchaser currently the subject of any restraining order? No. I figured I had to hurry up and get that damn rifle as soon as possible before I got any yeses on that list, you know? Gotta live free. Gotta get your guns before they take them away. We're gonna have to stand up to something. And one of the questions on there also was, have you ever spoken out against the government? I'm like, no. And I don't know. We're living free, aren't we? Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if this is speaking against the government or not. But the government's always extolling this notion about being free. But we're living in debt. The only way the government grants us this freedom is if we cower before them and pay our protection fees in a timely manner. What do you got? You got taxes. Here you own property. I got some property back in Gaylord. If I ever choose to go back there, just build a shack and lay out there. Kill animals every once in a while. Drink the stagnant water out of the ditch. But, no. Can't do that forever. Sure, it's your property, but you got to pay us taxes or we'll take it away. Hey, come on, man. Just take a little bit at a time. Figure if you go long enough, you can wait it out and just be this corpse lying in the corner of the property they're trying to get, and then they have to clean it up. Then they have to disturb a corpse. Oh, gosh, there's a lot of trouble there. All the Arabs over there and taking dead people pictures and everything, they wouldn't let us bury any of their dead, you know, because, we needed to give them a Arab, what do you call it, Islamic funeral or something like that. So what do? They wait about a week, 5 days to a week. They finally show up, turn their heels toward Mecca and take off. Now you got our troops having to pick up these bodies. They're falling apart, pushing them into the ditch, you know. I mean, if you get them right away, they don't come apart so easy. So, all I'm saying there, you got something for the government to have to mess with. It's all fetid and bothering you. But, then there's car registration. I mean, what the hell is that? Really, the only reason we have car registration right now is because they've yet to enforce that thing about the chip in our hands, man. They haven't been able to force everybody to say, yeah, me here, over here. Give me one of those chips in my hand so you can find me all the time. That day, I'm going to be running for the border with a couple other people with my Romanian SKS. No, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what kind of person, what kind of state I'll be in then. Today, I wouldn't do it because that'd be standing against the government. Well, who am I kidding? They already gave me the gun. But, so you got that. I mean, it's like the mafia out there. They've got credit cards and everything else. It's exactly what credit cards are. Legalized mafia, supported by the government and legal system.
Yes, JS, you'll hear an except.
I'll probably be sleeping. Hey, I hear some need-to-know information for all new mothers out there. Did you know that the average newborn can spend up to 3 hours a day crying? Wow. It's only 30% of infants cry, even more than that. It's normal, but it can also be very frustrating. However, shaking your baby won't help. It can cause permanent damage and could even cause your baby to die. So please, rock your baby, talk to your baby, feed and change your baby, but never shake your baby. You can shake a martini, but you can't shake a baby. Yeah, all right. They have a lot of dynamite, sure, but it seems that they stab each other more than anything. See that? Take away our guns! You go to Scandinavia, everybody's stabbing each other, and they all have guns. Sure, they're illegal there, but they all have them. All these people who are killing each other in the black metal scene, they got guns. They'd rather stab you. There's that broken baby food jar thing again. You know, heck, doesn't matter what you take away, we're still human. We can figure out how to kill something. Hey, somebody's got to call me and tell me if they ever hear any of these commercials anywhere else, because I think they put them all on my show, which is great because I know you all want to listen. So there. Yeah. Speaking of that, I had a dream last week. I don't know if I should talk about it. Well, I'll tell you the Megadeth dream instead. A couple of weeks ago, I had a dream that I'm sitting there, I'm backstage, you know. Yeah, I'm backstage. Suddenly, you know how you appear in a dream? And there's all these people out there in the Coliseum just going nuts. They're going nuts, see? And I'm like, hey, and I walk up to these guys, you know, there's Dave Mustaine and Dave Ellefson and the guys, you know, I said, yeah, they set me down here. I'm supposed to be your drummer. This is like 5 or 6 minutes before the show starts. They're like, yeah, come on. I'm like, well, all right. And so we're waiting 5 or 6 minutes. Ellefson's telling people what to do. I don't know. I may have told you this dream last week. Who knows? But he's telling people what to do, and I was like, wow, I'd think Mustaine would be more in charge of this. But then anyway, as we're getting ready to go on stage, finally I couldn't stand it anymore. I go up and I said, hey, man, I said, I don't have any idea how to play the drums. They're like, oh, it's okay. Just act like you know what you're doing. I'm like, well, okay. So I go out there, the crowd's going wild, you know, it's nuts. I'm just sitting there, and I've got like one bass drum there. I got a couple drums, a little cymbal, and I'm sitting there, ding, 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 hitting things, and I'm pretty impressed. The crowd's going wild, you know. I'm proud of myself. And there's a spot where Mustaine's doing this little guitar solo, all like, you know, lovely and everything. And I was like, huh. And I started hitting the little cymbal thing, and it all worked out. I was like, this is great. I'm a natural. And I'm hitting the drums and everything. We played 4 songs. At the end of those 4 songs, getting toward the end of the song, I look over to the left of the stage. There's a drum set up, and some bald guy with a bandana wrapped around his head, sweating like hell. Big old drum set, had everything. It took spotlights on. He's just beating the hell out of these drums. I'm like, what the hell, man? I said, all right, and I kept playing. After I got off, I said, who's that guy? And he said, oh, don't worry about him. He's just a studio drummer until you can get worked in. I'm like, all right. So apparently I was in the band. There. I told you that dream instead of the one where I made the guy cry over here because I wasn't playing enough rotation. But I'm playing all the rotation you need. That's why every once in a while, yeah. There you go. So, that's about it. I'll play this song for you, and then we have the news. Now here's Maris with the news.
All right, good morning. At 9:52 in the morning, we're looking at 61 degrees around San Jose. The forecast coming up later. And here's what's going on around San Jose State. If the San Jose State students thought the presidential elections were over in November, they forgot about on-campus elections. The Associated Students elections are right around the corner. The AS board held an open forum meeting for students to meet the candidates this past week. The AS Board of Directors has 16 seats up for re-election, but 9 of those seats have already been won by no contest. Director of Students Fee Affairs candidate Paul Higgins says there is a lack of competition, and maybe that's the reason why candidates don't campaign as hard as they normally would. AS President Leo Davila is up against the SJSU parties Glenn Adams and the independent Jose Martinez for the presidency. Davila says the primary elections will hopefully help boost student voter turnout. 2 other executive positions where there is a contest are controller and vice president. Current AS controller Carlos Aguirre is in the battle to keep his job against independent Rigo Partido. Two newcomers, SJSU parties Sundown Hazen and Spartan parties Franklin Haggis were vying for the vice president's job. They're running against current AS VP and Spartan Party member Anthony Drummond. A proposal before the SJSU's associated students could offer some relief for traffic woes around campus. San Jose civil engineer Henry Servant spoke to the AS last Wednesday. Some of the ideas he discussed in his traffic proposal included removing some on-street parking and adding signal lights. But Servant says his visit to the AS meeting was just the first step in finding out where San Jose State may stand in future decision-making. Servant says it's too early to speculate about the possible street changes or the impact on parking any of the proposals may have. But he says in the event of a total street conversion, the earliest construction could start.
Let's forgive Maris.
About 2 years from now.